You came in for milk, so why is it hidden at the very back? Because supermarkets don't want you to just buy what you need. They want you to cross a store designed to make you spend more. The first thing to understand is that supermarkets are rarely organized around the shortest path to what you need. Products like milk, eggs, bread, and other everyday essentials are often placed deeper inside the store, sometimes near the back, because these are the items people are most likely to buy, regardless of where they are located. If you came specifically for milk, chances are you will still walk across the store to get it, and every extra step gives the supermarket another opportunity to put something else in front of you. Think about what happens during that walk. You pass colorful packaging, special displays, snacks, drinks, seasonal products, discounts, and items you never planned to buy. You may have entered with a list containing 3 things, but before you even reach the first one, dozens of products have already competed for your attention. The longer the route, the more chances there are for an impulse purchase. There is also a practical reason some essentials are placed toward the back. Refrigerated products require large cooling systems, storage access, and frequent restocking, so keeping them near service areas can make operations easier. But from a sales perspective, that location has an additional advantage. It increases how much of the store customers are exposed to, and this is where the strategy becomes powerful. The supermarket does not need to convince you to buy everything you see. It only needs one extra item to catch your attention. A discounted snack, a drink that looks refreshing, a product placed at the end of an aisle. Multiply that by hundreds or thousands of customers every day, and those small decisions become significant. So when you finally reach the milk, you may already have placed several things in your cart that were never part of the original plan. But getting you to the back of the store is only the beginning, because the route you took to get there may have been influencing you the entire time. Once you are inside, the supermarket's layout begins guiding your movement in ways you may never notice. Wide entrances often slow you down, while long aisles encourage you to keep moving deeper into the store. Promotional islands, bright signs, and carefully placed displays interrupt your path just enough to make you look. Even the order of departments can influence how long you stay inside. Fresh produce may appear early because it creates a feeling of abundance and quality, while other categories are positioned farther away to keep you circulating. The goal is simple. Increase the number of products you see before you leave. And the more products your brain processes, the greater the chance that something feels suddenly necessary. You may think you are choosing your own route, but the store has already created a path that makes certain decisions more likely. And once you are following that path, the next strategy becomes even harder to notice. The supermarket doesn't need you to plan an extra purchase. It only needs to make you notice something at the right moment. That is why bright packaging, discount signs, fresh bakery smells, chilled drinks, and limited time displays are placed where they can interrupt your attention. The more often your eyes stop, the more chances your brain has to turn a simple observation into desire. A product you had no intention of buying can suddenly feel useful, tempting, or too good to miss. This is especially powerful when the item is easy to grab and requires almost no thought. And because these decisions happen quickly, you may not even remember exactly why you picked something up. You simply keep moving with one more item in the cart. But visual exposure is only part of the strategy, because some shelf positions are far more valuable than others, and the products placed there are competing for the most expensive thing you have inside the store, your attention. Not every shelf in a supermarket has the same power. The space directly in your line of sight is especially valuable because it requires almost no effort to notice. Products placed at eye level can feel more familiar, more important, and easier to choose, while cheaper or less profitable alternatives may sit higher or lower where you have to search for them. End-of-aisle displays are even more powerful because you see them before you decide whether to enter the aisle at all. That makes them ideal for promotions, new products, and impulse buys. Even the way similar products are grouped can influence comparison. A premium option beside a cheaper one can make the cheaper product look like a bargain, while a larger package can make the medium size feel more reasonable. None of this forces you to buy anything. It simply changes what gets your attention first. And after navigating all those shelves, the supermarket still has one final opportunity to influence you, exactly where you think the shopping is already over. By the time you reach the checkout, you probably feel like the shopping decisions are over. But this is where the supermarket gets one last chance to influence what ends up in your cart. The waiting area is often filled with small, inexpensive products that require almost no planning. Candy, gum, drinks, batteries, magazines, and other quick-grab items. After spending several minutes making choices, comparing prices, and walking through aisles, your attention is tired. A small purchase can suddenly feel harmless, especially when it is sitting within arm's reach while you wait. That is what makes the checkout so valuable. It turns a moment of inactivity into one final opportunity for an impulse decision. And when you connect this with everything that happened before, the essentials placed far away, the path through the store, the repeated exposure to products, and the strategic shelf positions, the bigger picture becomes clear. Supermarkets do not need to force you to spend more. They simply design the environment to create more moments in which spending becomes easier. The best defense is awareness. Enter with a list, recognize when something was not part of your plan, and ask yourself whether you actually wanted it before you saw it. Next time you go shopping, notice where the milk, eggs, or bread are located and how many products you pass before reaching them. Then come back and tell me in the comments, what is the one thing you almost always buy, even though it was never on your list?